Let's have Ainslie come back in and talk about oil. Ainslie, the last few months we've been able to say, well, gold's been going sideways, at least oil's been going up, not so much this week, right? Oil looking to be in a bit of a range as well, right?
Oh, look, hello, oil. Oh, my goodness. It didn't go well, did it, this week? Look, we thought we saw a bit of a bounce there after the shenanigans with the Russians and the Saudis having a bit of a stoush last week with restriction levels and how that's going to go. Do you know that still isn't resolved yet, by the way, Paul? It's just still, they haven't actually nutted out the production levels, and which is extraordinary. But this is actually played into some of this uncertainty around production levels, and they still haven't nutted down what they were meant to work out 2 weeks ago at the OPEC Plus meeting, Thursday 2 weeks ago. So the Saudi and the UAE are still at loggerheads about, well, what are you going to be doing? And they want a lot more than they actually, that the rest of the countries actually perceive as being a fair level, which i.e. is a lot more and might cause a bit of a glut. You've also got other countries that are trying to come online and produce and say, well, their cost of production is a lot less and they don't care as long as they get it to market. So considering that, we've got countries sort of opening up, I think is probably the best way to describe it. We're still, and that's probably, as Alexis has actually deferred to, the Australian dollar is probably going to keep going down because we've got Sydney and Melbourne in hard lockdown now. So that's going to take a real hit on our economy, and obviously the Australian dollar is going to go down, but we're not going anywhere. A lot of Asia, as Julian has said, we're still not ready to open up because we're not vaccinated enough. And the demand for the oil is just not there at the moment. So we're talking a lot of uncertainty around this whole thing. As you can see here, the majority of half of last week, after you've got the OPEC meetings and production issues aside, look, leave that alone. There's just all this uncertainty now. Well, what's happening? Which countries are opening up? Is the demand still happening? Are the planes actually going to start taking off again? Which is what they all thought was happening at the middle of last week, towards the end of last week, is that everything was going to start opening up again. And as Ash referred to it, it's just like, they're going to open tomorrow. The UK is going to learn to live with an endemic rather than be locked down with a pandemic. But how that's going to impact everybody realistically, and a demand for the manufacturing and economies opening, is another story altogether. And we're, again, huge doji after sitting right on the monthly pivot. So I've got to say, for me at the moment, I'm just staring at a lot of turquoise lines and I'm looking for a bit more direction. That's where I'm at the moment, Paul. Very frustrated. Oil and gold just driving me nuts. So please bear with me while I'm in lockdown and I'm homeschooling. I actually might lose it completely.
Let's hope it all works out, Angie. I'm sure you won't lose it completely. Cheers for that very much. Certainly, we're looking for a bit of direction to come back in some of these markets at the moment. We are in a time where I think we have some good levels, and we may well see that. Interesting time for, we've got a lower high, we're putting a lower low here. That would start and change some sentiment around it for a little while, at least, maybe be a